G'day everybody, welcome to Greens and Gains. Come and join me and my mate Lee. I'm a physio, 3-part wizard and golf addict. And Lee is a PGA pro, a rugby league degenerate and an absolute freak on the golf course. Greens and Gains is two blokes having a chat about how to improve your golf game and feel better about yourself. Why don't you come and join the fun?
Well, good morning everybody. Monday morning here on Greens and Gains. Tommy, how you going?
Hello mate, I'm so good. We had quite a week, didn't we?
We've had a week. We were, where were we this week, Tom? We were on the road, weren't we? Greens and Gains on the road.
Greens and Gains Travelling Roadshow is
Yeah.
in full swing. We were down in Melbourne. We had a blast. I had a blast. I hope you had a blast.
Had a great time. Good few days.
Yeah, it
What
was
did you
lovely.
do? What did you do when you were in Melbourne, Tom?
I played some golf. I slept in because I'd had a few wines. I met a whole stack of really cool people at the on-course awards evenings. That was great. Hung out with our sponsors. It was great. It was really cool. I had a great time.
You were a special guest along with the wonderful Payne, obviously the Melbourne Cup winner, first female Melbourne Cup winner. What an amazing interview we had with her. That was a pretty cool night.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. She's got a pretty insane story.
700 plus winners, Tom. 700
I
plus
haven't
winners.
won. I haven't won 7 local comps at my golf club, mate.
I-
700 winners is insane.
700 winners. That is amazing. And the amount of
Inspirational stuff,
injuries that she's had. And listen, golfers, we complain about a sore back, but jockeys break their backs. So
She was talking about 7 broken vertebrae or something, and I was gasping. Terrifying stuff.
you're the
mate.
physio
Absolutely
here.
terrifying.
You know what? You could buy a beach house on that those injuries, Tommy.
It's a lot of rehab, poor thing. A lot of work. All right, we're going to get cracking with a word from our sponsors, OnCourse, and then we'll jump into some things. So, OnCourse are Australia's leading network of pro shops. They offer an extensive range of golf equipment, including golf clubs, golf balls, apparel, and accessories from all of the major brands. Plus, you can search for lessons and clinics from qualified PGA pros, and you can also find club fitting events in your local area. With 80 sellers nationwide, the OnCourse site offers a wide selection to meet all of your golfing needs. And they're a little bit different to your normal online golf retailers. You're not purchasing from a giant warehouse. You're kind of buying from the team on the ground working in pro shops.
That's right, Tommy. You're actually buying directly from the team who knows the game better than anyone. PGA professionals in their local club pro shops. You can conveniently shop online with options of home delivery or click and collect. Check out OnCourse Golf at www.oncoursegolf.com.au. And thanks again to the team at OnCourse Golf for all their support. We've loved it.
Absolutely. And for having me in Melbourne. Free dinner was awesome.
Oh, and of course, Tommy, inviting you to Melbourne.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I think I was talking to somebody about it this week. I think the coolest part about being in Melbourne and getting to meet some on-course pros that weren't just you, Lee, was, and you're a great guy, but it was nice to meet some other golf pros and kind of hear a little bit more about what they do and what they're running their business is like and how on-course helps them. It was just really, I think, an eye-opening experience for me to see a whole stack of people who just love golf so much, all in the one room, talking about how they can better help their clients, better help their members, and look after people. And I think after seeing that and seeing the people behind the brand, it has a bit of a different feel than a large golf store that is not necessarily PGA run. Or PGA Pro run or owned. So if you are looking to buy, I would genuinely, seriously encourage you to do it via OnCourse. Not just because they look after us. Just, seeing, I think one of the guys whose name I've forgotten had a stroke this year, and seeing the way, and hearing about the way that the OnCourse guys had rallied around him and helped him keep his business going and things like that was pretty seriously cool. I don't think you get that in a lot of other places. So next time you need something, check them out. It's so worth doing. Completely opened my eyes to what they do.
We are a big family, Tommy. We love, golf pros are traditionally pretty competitive, but when we come together for a common cause, we're a big family. So it was good to have you there, mate. It was nice to have all the families there. I think 150 in the room at the aquarium in Melbourne. That was a pretty cool pretty cool place to have dinner. So it was a great night.
Another thing I kind of worked out from watching you guys all interact is that you golf pros just hang shit on each other, don't they? You guys are all. It was a night of just everybody sledging each other. It was chaos.
Well, yeah, we do. We give it to each other. I think anybody's ever walked into the pro shop and tried to get one over the golf pro, or on the first tee, they're trying to sledge them. I'd hate to tell you, you are way out of your depth because you can't put us off
for a living.
Because we do it for a living. Like the amount of rubbish we give each other, it's just a great Aussie way. I think the Aussie larrikin way. Chaos. So
I loved it.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
All right,
bit of fun.
Now we have been putting off because we haven't been in Sydney at our desks. We've been putting off a very important email from our dear friend Luke Yates. So, Lee, I'm going to read you this email. I know you've read it, but I'm going to read it to you. Hello, Greens and Gains. I'm having a quarter-life crisis that I need your help with. Here are the quick facts. I'm a 12.2 handicap. I game a TSR2 10-degree driver, and it's set on C1, but Luke is a lefty. So C1 for a lefty means that it is a degree and a half upright. A degree and a half more loft. So we're playing at 11.5 degrees with a slight 0.75 degrees flat. So it's set up to fade, right? Because Luke hits
being a left-hander. Yep, absolutely.
Which, for those of us playing at home, is a draw for a right-hander. It's very confusing. And he stands on the wrong side of the ball. It's weird. He's gaming T100S irons and he's playing a Pro V1 ball. So I'm content with how I'm hitting the ball at this present point in time, and the direction of the ball is not concerning me. I'm waiting on some new clubs that I've been fitted for, as you both know, but in the short term, the only logical change I can suggest is a new ball to help hold greens. Length or distance is my friend, so I don't necessarily want to sacrifice on that, but I want more spin with my longer irons so that I can stop the ball faster. I've included some club data for some of my more consistent shots. The strike's not too bad with driver. He kind of talked through the driver settings and things as well. We're going to I think, unpack the 7-iron more so than the driver, and we'll explain why in a little while. Sound good, Lee?
Yeah, sounds good. Very thorough.
Okay, so there's
report.
Oh man, Lucas sent a lot of info through. So we're sitting down with a table in front of us, and he's kind of gone through and hit 4 balls: a TP5X, a Bridgestone XS, a Pro V1X, and a Pro V1. Okay. The numbers in this table are all extremely similar. He hits 4 balls. It looks like as he settles in a little bit, he kind of picks up a mile or two of speed. So the Pro V1X and the Pro V1 he hits last, and he hits them a bit harder, and they go a bit further by like a meter or two. The ball speeds up a little bit. They're all spinning sort of in the high 5,000s. The launch angle is 14.4 up to about 15 degrees. The land angle is all within about a degree. And so is the height. It's all within about a meter. What sort of advice do you offer someone like this, Lee, when they're like, what ball do I choose? And how much of a difference do you think a ball is going to make to a player like this?
Well, I think the first thing I noticed straight away is it's really good to see someone who's using a premium golf ball. So all the companies out there at the premium end, there's no bad golf balls anymore. And I think that's what's really important about ball fitting. There's so many
unless the ball is yellow.
Unless it's yellow.
But otherwise, I'm just kidding.
Apart from that, yeah.
Sorry,
exactly.
So no bad golf balls?
No, not the major brands now, and I'm talking the TaylorMades, the Bridgestones, the Titleist, the Callaways, the Strixons. I know Mizuno's making a really good premium ball now. Have I forgotten anybody, Tom? I'm going to feel bad if I have.
It's not my job to sell this stuff, so I'm going to say no.
Wilson are making a good ball now. They're really making a comeback
at
the premium end. So they've always been really strong down the bottom, Wilson, but at the premium end, they're making a good ball. So that's important. What I will say to people is when you're picking a ball or when you're choosing a ball, do it from the green back to the tee. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, you've got to like the feel of it when you're putting. You've got to like the feel of it when you're chipping and pitching, and then you work back. Don't go purely, this ball goes longer. You've got to work from the green back when you're picking a golf ball. So, but in this case, we've obviously got the TP5X, the Bridgestone XS, so XS for extra spin. the Pro V1X, and the Pro V1. So they're all very, very similar, as you said, Tommy. If we want the ball, we go back to what he was trying to do. He wants to get the ball to stop a bit quicker on the green.
Yes.
So there's a couple of things there: spin, obviously, and landing angle. So the way that ball's coming into the green, where it's going to stop. You don't want the ball to be coming in too low. But all the landing angles here, like the Pro V1 is 47 degrees, the Pro V1X 46.7, the Bridgestone XS is 47.2, and the TP5X is 47.1.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask a quick question that I think will help clarify land angle for some people.
Yep.
If I dropped a ball straight out of the sky and it fell straight down,
yep,
my understanding is the landing angle would be what?
90 degrees.
Okay. And if the ball rolled along the floor, it would be 0 degrees.
0. That's correct.
Okay, so 47.
So if you can imagine, like having a protractor. Remember when you were at school, you had a protractor?
Totally,
you know what I mean?
totally.
You put that on the desk, and so we want the ball coming in probably 40, minimum 47. Like 47 is pretty good to get that ball to stop. Yep. 47 and a half, 48. Yep.
Okay.
With the 7 on. So all the
just
balls spin pretty...
For those playing at home, PGA Tour average...
Here we go, good.
7-iron landing angle. Let me do some digging. PGA Tour averages by TrackMan. Here we go.
TrackMan's the way to go, Tom. They measure it better than everybody.
7-iron land angle. PGA Tour average is 51 degrees.
7-iron, there you go.
Yeah.
So we want
it a little bit.
It's a little low. That's why he's having trouble getting it to stop.
Got it. Okay. So without making like a sweeping technical change to my irons to launch them, to hit them higher, how does he identify a ball that will change his spin or landing angle? What are we looking for?
So Luke has access to TrackMan from this report that he sent through, which is great. So, and he's done the right thing of obviously getting those golf balls. All those golf balls there are right at the bottom end of where that ball should be landing, and the spin is at the bottom end. Okay, so
cool.
I think we need to find a ball that's going to launch a little higher for him.
Yep.
And then obviously come down a little steeper to get it to stop. And if we can get to spin a bit more, that's even better. Now, looking at the balls that he's tested, the ball that has spun the most is the TP5X. There, and
for those playing at home, that's 58. It's TaylorMade, but it's 5,800 spin, 5,831.
Yeah, 5,831. Yep, spin, followed by the Pro V1X. So if we're just looking at trying to get the ball to spin, the TP5X is probably the ball to go straight away. But if we look at landing angle, the Bridgestone XS is coming a little steeper. So not by much though, so by nothing. What I'm interested to see is you haven't tested the TP5. Now the TP5 spins a little more than the TP5X, which I think would help, and go a little bit higher, launch a bit higher. So, but for the balls that you've got there, they're all very, very equal. There's not a lot of difference between those, and I think that's why Luke's struggling using them. I think he needs to try something that's going to spin more. He's got the Bridgestone XS, which is obviously an extra spin ball, but it's performed pretty well, but it was a little bit low down on spin. So just because it says XS on the ball doesn't mean it might be the highest spinning ball in their brand. So
got it. Okay.
And I think we should put this stuff up online, Tommy, as well, of his data.
Yeah, the tables and stuff will come through on the YouTube with the podcast in video format if you're interested and you want to do a bit more of a deep dive. We did also kind of talk about another thing where Luke has changed his equipment, right? So he's got new irons, new shafts. What are we expecting to see following a fitting process? If you have somebody who comes in like this, who spins the ball a little low, who doesn't see that land angle sit quite where we want it. As a fitter, what sort of changes are you trying to make?
Well, looking at what he's got at the moment, his
Yeah.
Titleist irons, the T100S, great iron.
Yeah.
S stands for strong.
Yeah.
So, we're going to get a little bit more ball speed and it's going to go a little bit further. I'd be trying to get him something that's going to launch a little higher. I'm going to try to get him into something that's going to spin a bit more. And that may be a more traditional loft in an iron.
Cool.
And different iron heads spin differently when they come through turf interaction and the way they work. So I'm not surprised that he's struggling to get the ball to spin and to stop, because he's using an iron that, although they would work that into their R&D, it's going to spin less, being the stronger version of the T100. So there was a T100 and then people wanted the T100S. So, and S being strong. So it's not going to spin as much. So a more traditional iron, because what he was saying is he doesn't have a problem with distance. So that's a good thing. So we don't have to, we can take him straight out of a distance iron. We can put him on a pure blade, or we can put him in an iron that it's just going to spin a bit more, and then we're going to put you in a shaft that's going to spin a little bit more as well if we can. So I don't think he's actually got the shaft that he's got in there though. That's
no, he doesn't, and that's okay. We're assuming that there's a change with the new irons.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, so we're going to try to get a shaft that's going to spin a little bit more, whether it be like a nip-on or something that's going to the DG115 or something that's going to spin a bit more, keeping in mind if he's using an X100 or something like that. So, but without knowing the shaft.
Cool. Now Luke is not slow, right? Like his 7 irons here towards the end of this session are at like 91, 92 miles.
Yeah, 90 miles an hour. Yeah,
like that's quick, right? He is fast enough to play in a more traditional loft, isn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah. The T100 off the top of my head, 7
I think
iron
it might
loft.
be a degree and a half or 2 degrees more, maybe.
It's 30. Was it 32 degree loft? Just off the top of my head, in a 7 iron.
I'll just have a quick look. Give me 1 second. Loading. It'll be 7 iron. It will be 34. Yeah, so it's 2 degrees more loft, which we're assuming it's half a club.
Yep.
So we're assuming it'll spin a fair bit more too, right?
That's right. So we need to get something that's a bit more traditional in loft. So he could go to a blade, or he could go to, Mizuno. I've got some irons out now that are going to spin a bit more. I know, so some iron companies spin a little bit more than others, but I think having an iron that's going to spin a little bit more would benefit in this situation. We want it to spin more because we've got to get it to stop. So, and he's a good player, so he doesn't have a problem hitting the middle of the club face. So that's going to help as well. So he's a low spinner. We've got to get a spinny shaft in there. We've got a spinny ball in there, and hopefully he can still keep that consistency and get that thing to stop on the green, because it's no good hitting it a mile and not actually getting it to stop. That's
totally.
You need it to stop. So.
Okay. Now, we also have some club data that he sent through about his driver. We'll throw that up for you on the video podcast as well. The number that really stands out to me as somebody who knows nothing about this is his driver spin rate. It's really high.
Yeah, 3,800.
Like
that's out of control. It's too much.
Yeah, or he's kind of mid 3,000 sort of thing, at least with the driver. You're saying play a spinnier ball.
This is the bit, isn't it?
From the green. Well, here, this is my question, I suppose. You're saying let's play a spinnier ball and work backwards from the green. Awesome. I love that. Sounds great. What does he then do with driver? How do we fix that?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So this is what happens. So people go, I spin the driver too much, so I'm going to get a low spin ball.
Yes.
And then
for the record, I have been this guy 2 months ago.
So I got to get a low spin ball. So they get the low spin ball out there, and there's a few out there. Obviously, companies make them, and then all of a sudden I've lost all feel around the green. In this case alone, I think there's some technique stuff that he's working on, but
Yep.
he's using a Titleist TSR2 driver head, which is a great driver, but it's not their low spinning version. So I would go with a low spinning head in the driver, which you can do. So the TSR2, you'd be better off in a TSR3, or there is a TSR4 out there that's super low spinning. I know the new driver he's getting is a Triple Diamond, is lower spinning again. So this is not such a ball thing. This is a head thing. So as much as we want an iron head that's going to have more traditional lofts and spin a bit more for him, in the driver, we want to try to get a low spinning driver. So
Got it.
Once again, this is why it's so important to get fitted when because you can go down one track with your driver.
Yeah, you can.
Which you can really like in your iron, it's going to ruin you. And you only hit driver on average 14 times a round.
Yeah,
you chip and putt every hole. So
yeah. And I suppose there are a whole second par, short par fours you may not hit driver at anyway, plus the par threes, right? So you might be 10 times around.
So this is where people come unstuck, not getting fitted. They don't, or just not getting the full bag fit, not understanding how changing one element in your bag can help one part, but really hinder the other. So we need a ball that's going to spin more with his irons, but we need something to make it spin less in the driver. So it's a driver head change, but a ball change. Like it's complete opposite sides of the scale. So if you do a holistic approach on it, this is where you can get it right. Yeah. And that's when you can benefit hugely in getting it done correctly.
And I suppose most people are like, if I'm closer, I will hit it better. I'm going to go to a low spin option and just mash it off the tee and hopefully be 10, 20, 30 meters further down the fairway. And I have been this guy. I did this recently, as I said. And then when I was out there, I'd come up to like a standard chip shot, not short-sighted, plenty of green to work with. And I'd hit a little chip and check sort of shot that'll roll out a little bit. And I'd just watch this low spin ball just land, not grip, and just trundle off into the distance over the other side of the green because I didn't know how to handle it. It was like a rock.
Yeah, it was like a stone. Yeah. Yep.
So
absolutely.
For the player wondering about ball, I really like the work starting at the green and working backwards. I think that's a cool solution.
You got to work backwards from the green. Don't sit there and just hit drivers using a launch monitor, and everybody seems to want to get it in the 2000s, like low 2000s.
Yeah.
A gentleman the other day who was asking me, I've got to spin it at about 2000, and his clubhead speed with drive was 81 mile an hour. So he had no velocity. So he needed spin to keep the ball in the air.
Right. So to get the carry number up, way more than 2,000 is fine.
He had no ball. Like his ball speed was low.
Yeah, cool.
So we needed a bit of spin to keep the thing in the air for him. But he's trying to spin it at 2,000. So he's getting, a little powder puff off the tee, and then there's no spin on the ball. It's just dropping out of the sky. So, that's a big one to think about.
Bump and run drive.
The bump and run drive. Yeah, the bump and run drive. Exactly.
All right. Well, hopefully that's been quite helpful. There's a whole stack of impact data and some stuff coming through as well that Lucas sent through. So we'll throw that up in the potty on YouTube if you're keen to go and have a look and see the numbers yourself and kind of delve a bit deeper into what we were talking about just then. Luke, thanks so much for sending it in. It sounds like the official verdict, Lee, is stay with the Pro V1, but you also think he needs to hit the TP5 because it's higher launch, higher spin.
From the data provided, the Pro V1 was the way to go, but I'd be interested to see how it goes against the TP5.
Yep.
Not the TP5.
What other high launch, high spin options are there?
I would go... Yeah, there's a few out there. I think if you've got access to a TrackMan facility, it's really cheap to buy some golf balls. The Strixon Diamond, super good ball. The Z, the XV, try them all. You never know what one that you like to look at. It's funny because there's a certain company out there that talk about the script on the ball. I just like looking down at this type of ball. If you use a type of ball forever, it doesn't like sometimes
Yeah.
you just get used to looking at that ball and you just like the look of the ball, whether it's the color of the ball, as in the whiteness or the dimple pattern. They all look a little bit different. So
Totally.
yeah, there's some golf balls out there in the world now, but it's never been easier to test them. So
Okay.
take the time to get
And
tested.
it sounds like it absolutely is worth digging around with some of this stuff and fiddling if you're seriously keen about getting better like Luke is.
What's the cheapest way to get 4 or 5 meters off the tee and get the ball to stop?
Yeah.
When you think
yeah,
about
okay.
it,
When you put it
people
like
run
that.
out and buy $1,000 driver. You can find a golf ball that works for you, and you can get 4 or 5 meters off the tee and you get the ball to stop. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a driver.
Yeah, that's half a club in off the
Yeah,
fairway
yeah.
with some
just testing
stopping
them
power.
out under controlled conditions, please. Under controlled conditions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Now, on my next question, it's actually been sent in by a listener. It's for our Like It, Don't Like It segment. It is about golf shoes, which, as you know, is a sensitive topic for me.
They're cleaning them.
Nath wants... just golf shoes in general. I've been copping a lot of shtick for my golf shoes. Fair enough. Now, Nath wants to know what we think about the new wave of golf shoes. So his email says, "Hey boys, I would love both of your views, on the modern golf shoe versus, let's say, the golf shoes of yesteryear. For inspiration, here's a photo of the new Jordans coming out. Keep up the great work." And he has sent through a photo of the Nike Jordan, the Air Jordan Golf Mules in a dark shadow colorway, and they are basically a slide. They're like a golf shoe. They're all of the golf shoe, and then they have like a low to no heel cup. It's basically like an open back shoe. I actually looked these up to see if they were real because I thought he was trolling us. They are a real golf shoe. I have
That
some
is
strong
not a golf
opinions
shoe,
about
Tom.
Well, I have some strong opinions about footwear as a physio. What do you think about a shoe like this, mate?
Well, there's no performance in that shoe. Like there's no performance in the shoe. If they didn't have Air Jordan on them, you wouldn't wear them. That's a fashion. That's a fashion thing. I don't have a problem with you wearing it, but it's not a golf shoe. Like it's got no laces.
Yeah, no
Where are
laces.
the laces, Tom?
I could see like going down to the golf club and hitting some chips with them on in the late afternoon on sunny summer, Sure. I couldn't play around a golf in them.
No.
I was recently away at a wedding.
It's a no from me.
On the Friday before a wedding down the coast, right? We played golf, and I think of 8 golfers, maybe 3 or 4 of them rocked up without golf shoes, and every tee box, back foot slips,
Yeah.
blast the ball right, hook a ball left. And somebody said it's the easiest way to shave strokes for a day like this is just bring your golf shoes. They make an enormous difference. If you're using the ground appropriately and you're like using your feet, we talked about this with the super speed board the other week, and you're actually like you're putting force into the floor, you need to remain stuck to the floor in order to generate like torsion or torque to hit the ball further. So as soon as you try and hit a bomb, if your shoes aren't stuck to your feet, recipe for disaster. Bad plan.
Yeah, no, listen, they're pretty, sorry, Nathan.
No laces, no grip. They're going to rub. You're
No
going to
laces,
get
no
blisters.
grip. If they
It's
didn't
a
have Air
10K
Jordan on them,
walk.
you wouldn't.
Bad idea. Bad idea.
If they didn't have Air Jordan on them, you wouldn't wear them, mate. They're bloody horrific.
Yeah, but like-
you need to put these on the socials. They'll sell millions of
They're
them,
terrible.
no doubt, but they're horrendous.
I don't hate the way the Jordans look, like the Jordans with laces as a golf shoe. I don't hate them. I don't hate how modern golf shoes look at all. How do we? I know you wear you wear Prems. You wear like a classic sort of design golf shoe. I also do. How do you feel about like a more modern looking shoe?
I love my FootJoy Premiers.
Yeah.
I used to be a FootJoy Classic guy, so for all those old people out there like me, I used to wear FootJoy Classics, which were leather soles and with spikes in them. I'll dig them out. I still got a pair. And I loved them. But on a rainy day, they'd they'd weigh 5 kilos. So anybody's ever worn the FootJoy Classics, and there'll be a few people out there that listen, you remember how heavy they used to get. They were so heavy. But looking down on it, and it's just a sexy looking shoe,
Yeah.
they were awesome. They were
Filled
awesome.
you with confidence.
So
So it sounds like you're much more.
guy.
You're more towards the traditional.
Yeah, I'm a traditional
end of
guy,
things.
but yeah,
Okay.
I see people wearing the Jordans and all that sort of stuff, and that's cool. But if I'm, I'm a traditional guy. So
Okay.
yeah, good enough for
me,
Tiger, good enough for me.
Totally. For me, wear what you want from a physio standpoint. Please make sure they're tied up. Make sure they fit. Make sure they have an appropriate grip system, whether that's the screw-in spikes, whether that's soft spikes. I don't really give a rat's. Just make sure you stay attached to the floor. They're comfortable. If you walk, make sure you can walk 10Ks in them. If they're a FootJoy Prem and they're leather, like a leather upper, wear them in, you donkey, before you walk around on them for 4.5 hours and get blisters. Like, wear them around the house, be that idiot. All the normal things to do with like a dress shoe, or like with an athletic shoe. Remember, it's for sport. The awkward dad running up and down the aisle in Rebel Sport. Try them out. Do they fit? Don't just order them online and hope they work and then go for a 10-kilometer walk for 4 hours.
What
outside
is
of
the
that,
go?
I don't care
What
what
is
you
the
wear.
go with that? They do that in the pro shop as well. They put the shoes on
Yeah.
and they walk around the pro
They go
shop.
for a run.
What is the go with that?
No, I'm for that. They got to fit. You don't want them to rub. You want to make sure your toe box is wide enough. You want to make sure you've got enough heel
honestly,
drops
a 10
so that
meter
it
walk
fits
in the pro shop.
appropriately.
Yeah. Yeah. And most
Anyway.
companies out there, for those people buying good new golf shoes, most companies out there, most of the major companies out there will normally have a 30-day comfort guarantee. So don't wear them
Really?
for 3. Yes. Yep.
Huge.
So don't wear them for 3 months, then bring them back into the pro shop and go, they give me blisters, can I get a refund? That happens. If you do it after 1 or 2 rounds, we can actually do something about it for you.
So what I'm hearing is I could have a new set of shoes for every video we film, and then just bring them back to you and say that they rub.
Yeah, 100%, Tommy. Keep your receipt.
That's actually. Look at you. This is
Keep your
actually.
receipt.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, that's what we do, mate. Yeah, there's a comfort guarantee always. We look after people.
So keep receipt. If they don't fit, come back in, find a better fit.
Yeah, don't wear them for 8 months and then bring them in. There's not much we can do then. So
And I suppose at purchase, check with your golf pro. Can I bring these back in after 30 days or whatever? What are the terms?
correct. Yep, absolutely. We want if they don't fit properly, you're playing most Saturdays or Wednesdays or midweek, you're going to come in and whinge about it. So we want them to fit properly.
I suppose that's way more valuable to you, right? I don't want to hear about it twice a week.
Oh, I'm sorry your shoes don't fit. Yeah. You didn't think about telling me that when you bought them? Yeah.
Okay.
It's true.
That's good. That's great. I love it.
It's a thing.
Okay. Now, that's enough about shoes. I love that. Thanks, Nath, for the question. We appreciate that. If we
Thanks,
see you
Nath.
wearing those shoes at the golf course, we're going to take them off your feet and burn them. They're not golf shoes. But
Sounds like Nathan. Nathan's the sort of guy that probably leaves sand buckets in the car park.
No, Nate's a great guy. Don't say that. That's me.
No,
All right.
I wouldn't do
On
that.
to course. No, he wouldn't. He's the best. On to course management this week. Now, I have a question for you, and it comes from the result of significant personal turmoil. I had 3 3-putts this week on Tuesday or on Thursday. The greens at Bankstown, they've got them running really quick. Club champs this weekend, right? I had 3 3-putts. I was playing to a front pin, and that hole, amateurs were always short to a front pin, just hit a bit more club and be long. I was like, yep, course management, I'm going to be clever. I hit the green, and, let's say I'm 7 or 8 meters past the pin, but I'm above the hole. And one of them, I think I was like 6 feet past the pin, but I'm above the hole. At the moment, I cannot leave an uphill putt at Bankstown above the hole, or not even above the hole, within 6 feet, because they are lightning fast, right?
They're quick, aren't they?
What do I... Oh, they're so fast. What do I do here? Am I better off being slightly short? Do I aggressively play the number and live with a misstrike? Do I be long and deal with the 3-putt? Like, what would you do if you were me playing off 10, 11 or something like that?
Say no to 3-putts. There's a hashtag. Well, the greens are quick at the moment. So,
Yeah.
side note, we had our Pro-Am on Friday and
Yes.
at Bankstown. And thank you to the golf pros that came out and treated my members to a wonderful day. But Andrew Evans, big shout out to Andrew Evans, had 67 and won the day. So, great score.
Love that.
But back to your question, Tommy. The greens are quick. I spoke to our superintendent at Bankstown. They're cutting them at 2.6 mil. So there is not much grass on them. And they're in great condition. And it's Club Champs time. So if it's Club Champs time and the greens are quick, the only thing I'm practicing is speed control on the greens.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of speed control work with my putting, making sure I know the pace, getting the feel correct, all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
But I would rather leave the ball 10 foot short of the pin at the moment than 4 foot above. I had a putt on the 18th hole on Friday. Pin was on about 4 metres, 4 from the left. People will know that who play at Bankstown. The 18th, the old 9th.
Yeah.
And I hit
And just to clarify, this green does slope back to front. So it's coming
back
back.
to front, yeah.
Yep.
So it was downhill and I hardly breathed on it. And it was 4 foot for birdie and I missed it. But it rolled 6 foot past. I hardly touched it. So if I was 6 foot below the hole or 8 foot below the hole, I would have been able to give it a nice strike and be confident with it putting uphill. So definitely under club a bit if you can. Understand the slopes on the greens. Have a think about where the pins are on the greens and where you'd like to putt from. Be aggressive to those points, Tommy. Don't fly it at the flag. Don't do it because the greens are firm. It's Club Champs time. They're just sucker pins. So
and that's super helpful because I was out of sorts. I like to be quite aggressive with my putting. I like to pick a line and commit to it and hit the putt quite firm. And above the hole, like you say, barely breathing on it. I just felt like I looked at it and it would take off, and you can't. I couldn't commit. You know, you missed the hole by 2 feet, like 2 inches, and it's 7 feet long.
Quick tip for those people who are really struggling with their speed, like downhill especially. Play the ball off the toe of the putter a little bit. Stroke it how you normally stroke it. It'll come off a little deader, and that'll assist you with not rattling at 8 foot past. So
okay, that's good advice.
Just play it off the toe of the putter a little bit. Yeah, just that little bit.
And then it sounds like what you're saying for the approach is we don't mind play the number at most if it's a front pin, and if you're 2 or 3 meters short or 10 feet short or whatever, give yourself a little bump and run up the hill.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Above it.
Don't leave yourself high side.
And that's not all the time. It's for like how the greens that I'm playing are currently. They are absolutely diabolical.
Yeah, they're firm and fast. It's Club Champs time. It's how you figure out the wheat from the chaff, as they say, Tommy.
Okay. Now, this leads me into my next question. I would love some help. We've got round 1 of Club Champs this weekend. It's Monday morning. This weekend coming being Saturday. Do I treat this like a normal round of golf? Do I get all excited and prepare for it for the normal club golfer who obviously is excited about Club Champs and wants to play well? How do you recommend I go into this weekend? How would you do it if you were playing Club Champs this weekend?
Okay, so the first thing you got to realise, Club Champs, most important time of the year for golfers. Most important time of the year. So keeping that in mind, that means half the field are that nervous they're gonna flunk out. So you've beat half the field already, Tommy. If you can just understand that.
Okay. Yeah.
Routine wise, don't change a thing. Do the same routine that you were doing all year. So for you, for example, have too much the night before, wake up late, and
show
run
up
to the
late.
tee. All right. Don't get there an hour before your round if you only normally get there 20 minutes before your round. Don't get there and chip and part and blah, 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 blah. You know what? It's over. It's already over if you're not prepared. So preparation is key, but you got to do that preparation during the week or during the weeks leading up to your Club Champs or during the months leading up to your Club Champs. So all I would say is get a good night's sleep. Make sure
Yep.
that your golf bag's packed. Make sure that your clubs are clean and that you're not rushed on the day, because people's anxiety is going to be up a little bit. And understand that everybody else is nervous as well.
Yeah,
And you're
cool.
really only playing against yourself. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
Okay?
Nice.
You play anybody out there who are about to play club champs or are playing club champs, do me a favor. Have a
Yeah.
look at the scores. And normally, the person who shoots closest to their handicap for the 2 rounds, 4 rounds, or whatever you have your club champs over wins. There might be
Yeah.
the odd outlier that has 5 shots better, but most of the time they just play to their handicap
Yeah. Okay.
because everybody's so nervous.
Yeah. So,
Everybody's frothing, and you can feel it when they come into the shop. They're anxious. They're a little bit narky. So they're taking 4 practice swings instead of 1. They're throwing the grass in the air. They're bushing. They're lasering it. They're walking around the green. It's taking 5.5 hours.
it's going to be a long round, I think.
It's going to be, yeah. Well, it won't take 5.5, but I just think if you can keep everything pretty simple, get a good night's sleep, stay hydrated, stretch, warm up, do what you normally do, don't rush, and understand that everybody else is just bloody nervous. And if you can just play to your own ability, you're going to be pretty close at the end of the day.
And like in the wise words of Lee Hunt, it's about making less triples, right? It's like
Less
limit
triples,
the
less
damage.
doubles.
We're trying not to make massive scores, and we're just
Yeah.
playing golf.
That's
Okay.
right. Well,
That's helpful
I know
advice.
at Bankstown for us, we play 4 rounds of stroke.
Yeah.
So normally if 200 people tee it up in the first round, 150 turn up in the second round, and then 100 turn up in the third round. So
Yeah.
that's my point. Half the field quit because it's all too hard for them and they have a mental breakdown. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's 4 rounds. It's a Melbourne Cup, not a Golden Slipper.
And I suppose I don't know what that means.
Well, a Melbourne Cup, it's a distance race, and the Slipper's a sprint.
Oh, there you go.
Tommy,
I'm not a horse
surely
guy,
you don't follow horse racing?
Not at all.
Didn't you watch the Everest? No, okay.
No, not a chance.
Anyway,
Not a
we're
chance.
getting off track.
Okay,
This is not a TAB podcast.
Marathon, not sprint. TAB, send us some money. We'll talk
okay.
about you. Marathon, not sprint. And I suppose if you have 34 points 4 times off the black tee stroke play, you're probably in with a sniff.
Oh, you're in with a massive sniff. Like,
Okay.
unbelievable.
So limit the damage.
Sniff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
limit
okay.
the damage.
Cool, that's good.
Yeah, I tell you what you can do.
Yeah.
You can't win it on the first day, but geez, you can lose it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
I like that. I like that a lot.
you like that?
That's what I'm working on this week. I'm gonna be calm.
Not lose
I'm gonna
it.
Get out there.
You're
and
not.
practice
You're not
some
going to lose it in
lag
the
putting.
first round.
I'm just gonna try and have a good day. I like it. I like it a lot. Now,
Yeah,
you, my
that's the
friend,
way.
we've talked about this a little bit through the week. You're going to be getting in the gym. You're going to be getting on the speed
Yes.
sticks. You are going to be on the grind, body and mind. Is that right?
Yeah. It's it. Monday we start. Or that would be today. Today we start, Tommy, and my son and I. We're going to get into it. Well, not that my son needs to, because he's. Remember being 14 and you didn't have to worry about what you eat and you just fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he's
love
that, and Dad is. God, I wish I knew then what I know now. But anyway, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, so I'm
We'll
looking
live with
forward to getting a little healthier, not rolling out
Okay.
of, not hurting my back. My back's been better, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the journey. Tell me. So
Okay. Nice. Now, you two, you and Noah, your son, are going to be doing this together. Is that right? We're going to be kind of teaming you up a little bit to keep you motivated.
we are. Yep.
I
We
love
are,
that.
because I can't sleep at night thinking he swings it quicker than me.
It's good. I like a little bit of
No, it's not.
friendly family
not good.
competition. It's. I think this is good for you. It's good for you.
He's 14, mate.
And- It'll only get worse from here. It'll only get worse from here.
Oh,
All right.
yep.
Last thing I need from you this week, my friend. What's bothering you, buddy? Talk to me.
Okay, I've thought about this
Yeah.
in the last 20 minutes, and I had a couple of things.
I love it.
But
Okay.
what bothers me is when people go into a bunker, they hit the bunker shot out, That's fine. And then they walk out of the bunker, regardless of whether they rake it or not, and then they walk straight onto the green. And while they're walking onto the green, they're just dragging the sand off their shoes onto the green. It's unnecessary. Get out of the bunker. Give your FootJoy Premiers a bit of a tap with your sand iron.
Give them a love tap.
Give them a love tap. Get all the sand off your shoes, then walk on the green.
Okay.
Think about that next time you're in a bunker. We're reaching for me to find stuff that I don't like, but that's.
I could see that I could see that irritating you.
Well, it's just a bit of common courtesy, Tommy.
Consideration for your fellow golfers.
Don't be a buffoon. Don't be a buffoon and drag all the sand on the green. So that's what I've got this week. That's all I've got.
I love it. That's good. It seems like perhaps you're calmer. People are irritating you less.
Oh no, people still irritate me.
I was going to say, I can't wait to buy some new golf shoes that don't fit me and complain about them for 12 months. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Or you play 15 rounds with a glove and it's got a hole in it and all of a sudden it's a warranty. Mate, you've hit it you hit it 115 times around. That glove needs a medal.
Yeah, it's hanging in there by a thread.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Now, guys, thanks so much for coming along this week. Good luck to all of you who might be playing in Club Champs this week. We hope you go well. We've had a couple of results trickling in from listeners, and some are doing great and some are doing less than great. But if that's you in the next few weeks, let us know how you go. We want to hear about it. Thanks for your feedback and from letting us know that you're enjoying yourselves. We love hearing from you. Please rate us. Please review us. Please share us. It's really helping us grow. So thanks so much.
Thanks, Tommy. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you out in the course.